A perfect 100!
What?
Are you kidding me? A perfect 100!
What?
A perfect 100!
14 stomps it right on that toe. Stomps it right now. 14 stomps.
100!
For the win.
Making the U.S. team, let's hear it for
Happen.
Shaun.
I'll be thinking about this day for the next 4 years. The level of progression, the way it leapt forward today.
This move, nigga.
Let's get it!
This is Last Resort with Stan, your first and last resort for snowboard news. That's an example of a great sound clip to use if I ever am nominated again for a Stansworld Award. Honored to have been nominated for this award, I just thought that the video representation of me at the awards was not respective of my catalog, okay? All I can say is if we can take the W next year, I can promise one hell of an acceptance speech. Now technically, I try and talk about things only in the month of the episode. This is December. The Shaun White Perfect 100 happened in January. I just feel like it needs to be discussed right now. Bottom line is 100 is an annoying and corny ass score to give at an event that's this televised. Not to mention all the fucking hype around it and the perfect score and just this dude's voice.
Why?
It just builds into this annoying storybook dynamic that is definitely trying to be built around Shaun White in the Olympics. The problem being, a lot of us just don't feel like Shaun White represents snowboarding.
Just witnessed the best contest in snowboard halfpipe history. We have never seen anything like that. The level of progression, the way it leapt forward today has never ever happened before.
Unless, of course, you are going to argue that this is the perfect revert, at which point, okay, sure, yup, then it was a perfect run. Sage Gothenburg went full Slytherin at Park City, snaking a skier and effectively putting down an amazing line. The rules for snaking are quite simple. If you have won an Olympic medal, you're allowed to snake people. That's just true. Shaun White just happens to use his snaking privileges at nightclubs where people still remember him for his role as himself in Friends with Benefits.
Don't talk to me like you know me. What, you think I'm all chill because I snowboard and shit?
Hello Stan. I'm your virtual intern. As you requested, here is a compilation from Shorts and Shades 10. Whoops. There was a malfunction during playback because this shit just goes too hard. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Often on a video made by Warp Wave featured predominantly K2 riders, but also a large smattering of some of Tahoe's greatest. Ultimately, I think that this film was a great way to watch good snowboarding and insane shots of people chopping down flaming trees with chainsaws. We get it, K2. Half your team is up to really crazy shit in the off season and they're all better people than us. Is that what you wanted? Now I feel shitty about myself. Thanks. Most famous snowboarder on Instagram, a title forever held by Marcus Cleveland, is potentially being rivaled by none other than someone called Young Dolly. Or as you may know him, Skinny Stance, Pink Camo Pants. It's just brave, okay, to just jump into the game with some pink camo pants, tight stance, and just fucking put out all these clips. It's a brave move. JP Walker, aka The Don, had an in-depth interview with Snowboard Magazine that I found to be quite interesting. Mostly because I can't help but feel like JP Walker is just like super self-conscious about his position in snowboarding. JP, Jeremy Jones, this goes for you too. Here's the thing. You guys undeniably shaped so much of what so many snowboarders my age are doing now. And that will forever be respected and revered and loved. Did I think it was a lot when you put out that article in Transworld with that long list of tricks that you invented? Yes, okay, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you influenced us for so many years, but like, that was just kind of weird. And now it stresses me out that you're stressed out, and it just makes me wish that the Nixon Jib Fest could have turned into the Nixon Job Fest.
That's the second time that a circle rail's ever even existed on the snow. I remember Gunny when he told us about him, because we drew him up with no real dimensions or anything, kind of gave him to him, and then he came back and showed us what he'd done or told us what he'd done, and they were just a perfect replica of that.
Donald Trump's comments about global warming not being real due to a cold winter, was obviously made before his team was able to analyze this video. Donald Trump said totally seriously, quote, "Cool helmet." Channel Surfers is a video that has a solid display of some of the antics that have been going on at the Bone Zone early season. Golf clap button. Wrong button. Is it unethical for athletes to text announcers their run beforehand?
I know Scotty James has a different run because he texted it to me a little while ago. So as I was saying, Scotty James texted me.
No, of course not. But I bet that Todd Richards asked him to text him beforehand because we all know how embarrassed he gets if he calls a trick wrong. Here's the thing, Todd, it's okay. It happens, we get it. What I think you should work on is describing less what pop is.
It's when they leave the lip and they initiate that rotation. She didn't get the pop. What's pop? It's what propels you out.
The American people understand what jumping is, Todd. They get that part. Also, the Spencer O'Brien thing was a little weird. You're gonna hate me for fucking roasting you on this, but I'm doing it anyway, and I'm sorry.
Spencer just looks so pretty in the air.
Careful, Todd. Ben Bilodeau, aka Bloody Sneakers, did some shit that injected more hype into snowboarding than the Step-Ons did with Shred Dads, you know what I mean? Everybody got out there doing it this month, myself included. Quickly after this, we saw a series of other challenges erupt. We got the G-Don Challenge, the Mike Boggs Challenge, the Frank April Challenge, the pose like a model in such a confusing way as to not even elicit a little bit that you might be a snowboarder challenge. William Key and I will watch this MJ board slide, and I can't stop until I get enough. Michael Jackson pun, I hate it too, let's move on. The added hype of the Olympic qualifiers, Dew Tour was definitely December's shiniest and most prominent contest. Of course, the dudes over at the Dew Tour had an idea to do something different, and that was make snowboarding a team sport for the team challenge. I don't hate the idea of a team challenge. I just think that there were some vastly underrepresented teams in this team challenge, namely the tight belt team, okay? That's what I want. That's what everyone wants, Dew Tour. You tell me that's gonna be bad TV. With a straight face, do it. Luckily here at Last Resort, we were able to get a man on the ground. Joey B, how ya mountain die?
I'm here at the top of the Dew Tour halfpipe. I got Renee Renacongas from the Rome team about to drop in. Let's see what he's got for us. Hammer time, how you doing? All right, here we go. Renee Renacongas throwing up some gang signs for his boys back in Finland, 18 years old, taking a different approach, unique like some San Marzano tomatoes. Bang with a toe pop 180 into the pipe. Huge ravioli roll. Todd doesn't know what to call that, but I call it a ravioli where I'm from. How you doing? Ah, the Holy Cannoli 360. I mean, this guy's got skills. He's cruising right into, wow, the frontside fettuccine flip Japan. Forget about it. Bada bing, the lazy lasagna 540. How you doing? What's next? Mountain Dew mute grabs, how we doing out here? Here we go, whoa, double speed check under the bar with a monkey spin. I haven't seen that yet. Right into an eggplant parmesan, forget about it. Taking it to the pole here, bang, taparoo, how do you do? That's a wrap. Beardy over here going for the high five, settles for a fist bump.
Also this month, Scotty Vine announced he would be retiring from professional snowboarding, a natural reaction to one-footed board sliding red ledges. Torgier Bergrem did potentially the craziest handplant I've ever seen on his team manager's snowboard. I just have to ask myself, like, why is it that it's always the Nitro team doing the most balls to the wall shit? I kind of just picture Canute like busting into Torgier's room being like, I got a crazy idea. You're gonna gap 20 feet handplant my board. You know what? Grab the swallowtail. Let's fucking go. It's been a big year for Haldor Helgason, okay? With the video part of the year, Rider's Choice, European Rider of the Year, but most importantly, that video changed that vape made where it looks like he does 8 backflips and then some people actually thought it was real. That was definitely the coolest thing to happen to you all year. Lukas Kaye, hats off to you for starting what will definitely be the next Instagram trend in snowboarding if it isn't already by the time this episode comes out. Full Party by Fat and Furious. It's 2 chubby Scandinavian dudes driving around and fucking killing it. First, I thought the one dude, Abe, was kind of like pulling all the weight with all the one-footed tricks, and then the other dude, Theo, out of nowhere, does a fucking front 10. I don't know who these dudes are. I don't know how it's possible they put out a video this good, and I had never ever seen them before, but fuck with these dudes, because fuck yes. We're in a snowboard renaissance, okay? Maybe it's just because it's December and a fuck ton of things came out and I'm just watching it all. Spark plug. Words cannot really express my excitement around the spark plug edit. It was fucking amazing. It was kind of like perfect.
A perfect 100! Are you kidding me? A perfect 100!
maybe a 99.7. I mean, I could watch this Parker Zumowski clip over and 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 over again. I'll keep going. Another video in the snowboarding renaissance was FSBS 1, okay? Forrest Bailey is back, and he's obviously been stewing after those 2 years of knee injuries, and he came back at us with some shit. And I'm excited about the way that they're making this shit, which is they're kind of putting it out as it happens, which is amazing, because I'm pretty sick of just like waiting a year for everyone's shit, or like 2 years for everyone's shit. In this day of social media, it kind of makes sense to put your shit out as it's happening. Okay? I said it.
Now a local family is worried about their missing 30-year-old son.
He simply disappeared. News Channel 8's Ryan Hughes is live in Spring Hill.
That's right, a grown-ass man disappeared doing what was called the Bloody Sneakers Challenge. Some experts have said that he probably appeared somewhere under a rainbow, which sounds like complete stoner hippie poppycock. More at 11. Oh.